597, Dan O'Mac, back with another video for you, another edition of my Today in Wrestling. So, from what I've been reading so far, what's going down in the world of wrestling today is a little bit of a spoiler, or potential spoilers for Monday Night Raw. So, today is September 19th, 2016. Tonight is Monday Night Raw. So, if you don't want to hear anything regarding that. Now, Raw is live, nothing was taped. It's just there is the possibility of two superstars appearing tonight. They are backstage. Again, I'll give you a chance to pause this video or skip ahead if you don't want to hear the spoilers. Okay, so apparently backstage is Paige and Luke Harper. Luke Harper's been healing from an injury. Paige, of course, has been suspended and also injured. Paige, it'll be interesting to see what happens. Obviously, she was injured. She also was suspended. Now, from what I understand, she claimed that her suspension wasn't the issue of her taking something she's not supposed to, but much like Eva Marie, she didn't get the paperwork in, or she didn't get the process done in the amount of time allowed. So obviously that looks better on her for not actually taking anything, but she still was suspended. Also, her relationship with Alberto Del Rio has also kind of, I think, caused some tension between her and the company. But she also stated that she's excited to return. I believe she mentioned that on Twitter. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with Paige. I mean, WWE don't screw around. I think if you honestly threw Paige into a program, a storyline with someone like Sasha Banks, that would be really interesting. She's going to be on Raw. The Clash of the Champions is this Sunday, I believe. Have Paige, get involved in that Charlotte-Sasha Banks match. They simply could have Paige backstage at Raw just to get her back in the routine. I don't know if that's something WWE practices, but it could. I know there has been times where they've had people backstage, and it could be simple for that. They want it to get leaked out that these people are there, and for people to tune in because they believe that because they're backstage, they're going to show up. So, it will be with Paige, just the way her relationship, I think, has been with WWE. It'll be interesting to see how they use her. But hopefully they don't job her out or make her look bad. Don't punish us, the fans. And don't punish yourselves, WWE. Like, Paige can do things for you. She can put on a good match. And I think if you let her talk, she can carry the talking part of a storyline. And then Luke Harper, I always enjoyed watching Luke Harper. It would be nice to maybe see a different Luke Harper, not the Wyatt family Luke Harper. The club, I know AJ Styles, Luke Gallows, Anderson, they said, the club's not breaking up, we're staying together, we're going to dominate Raw, we're going to dominate SmackDown, and it's left things open for a lot of different possibilities of what could happen with the club. But I believe the Wyatt family said they're straight, going their separate ways, they're splitting up VI the brand, and and they're going to go their separate ways. And if so, I would like to see finally somebody out of the Wyatt family get a push, or if we're not doing the Wyatt family, who are these guys outside of that? It would be refreshing to see Luke Harper come out in a different look, a different gear, different attitude, and say, listen, for 2 years now, or however long the Wyatt family's been together, I let Bray Wyatt fill my head with a bunch of stupid crap, and this ain't who I am. I've cleansed myself of Bray Wyatt, and now this is the real Luke Harper. And it would be interesting if they did something like that, instead of just dragging him out dressed in the same Wyatt family gimmick when the Wyatt family ain't even happening anymore. So, but the predictability of WWE would say Luke Harper comes out tonight dressed up still like he's a member of the Wyatt family, and still dressed up like a member of the Wyatt family, and you know, he probably squashes somebody, and it's a short match, and he's back, but not really with any momentum, which is unfortunate. So those are some possible spoilers for Raw. In my video yesterday, I talked about the whole Daniel Bryan Miz contract storyline, where on Twitter, Daniel Bryan and the Miz are kind of going back and forth with their contract negotiations, and they're using social media to try and tell this story of their contract negotiation situation. And so apparently WWE continued that today, and now WWE announced on their Twitter that the two sides have come to terms on a new deal, and they and it says that WWE put on their Twitter, WWE has learned that SmackDown Live GM Daniel Bryan and the IC champion The Miz have come to terms on a deal. So obviously they're going to keep Daniel Bryan and The Miz, I guess, going at it, but they're definitely keeping The Miz on SmackDown with the IC title. I could see this being as a swerve, possibly, as like, you know, okay, yeah, Daniel Bryan and The Miz, they've reached terms and everything's fine and the story's resolved. And then on SmackDown this week, you know, Daniel Bryan and The Miz may have some sort of, you know, there might be some sort of sour note there. Daniel Bryan may have some sort of special clause or some sort of condition and that The Miz might not like. Or it may just be simple as the deal's been reached and they may have some sort of contract signing on SmackDown this week. You never know what they're going to do. I feel like The Miz has had his career revitalized from that shoot promo he did on Talking Smack. You know, I feel like they could capitalize off The Miz. I feel like at this point, they either have to give Miz something bigger than the Intercontinental title, which is unfortunate that the Intercontinental title has been pushed down so much that, unfortunately, the only titles that really matter are the WWE title or the Universal title. The only way the other titles matter is if it goes to, you know, unless a baby face that the fans are really behind are chasing the title, or that face has the title. Excuse me. But, you know, it's unfortunate that a lot of these, like, I guarantee you there's a lot more interest in the SmackDown Live tag team titles right now because the champs are Slater and Rhino. You know, but as soon as Slater and Rhino lose those titles, the interest is going to drop from the tag titles, because right now the Usos are simply just not coming out with face paint. You know, they didn't do a whole lot to change. Now, I don't know if they can necessarily, you know, but I mean, it's little things. Like, they're coming out essentially wearing the same kind of shorts type thing that they wear, and I think, you know, they have to do more than that. They have to go to, you know, short tights or long tights. They got to go to boots. They got to, I feel like they could just take it a step further. And I believe they're still coming out to the same music. So, you know, they got to go full Hollywood Hulk Hogan, you know, different attire, different music, mixed with the different attitude. And so, you know, I think if the Usos get those titles, you know, depending on what team's chasing them, people will not care about those titles as much. You know, but going back to The Miz, like I said, I feel that he has caught a spark with his promo on Talking Smack a few weeks back, that, you know, to simply keep him with the Intercontinental title right now is not benefiting off of his current popularity. I think the only thing you can do with The Miz is have him go to Raw and feud for the Universal title. Bring somebody to SmackDown like Cesaro and who can have quality matches on SmackDown and not a meaningless best of 7 series with Sheamus. And some people may say, what do you mean a meaningless best of 7? They're Sheamus, if you don't know, Sheamus and Cesaro are in a best of 7 series where they were promised by Mick Foley that the winner would be guaranteed a future championship match. And I just feel that that championship match is going to be on a December episode of Raw, when they've got nothing else planned, and they're gonna have Cesaro or Sheamus say at the beginning of the show, Mick Foley, I never got my title match, I want my title match. And he'll say, yes, you'll get your title match right here tonight, in whatever city we're in. And then they'll go out and they'll have a match, and the champion will retain, and it meant absolutely nothing for this best of 7. You know? So, to get back to this and The Miz, so The Miz and Daniel Bryan, storyline-wise, have agreed to a new contract that keeps Miz on SmackDown and also keeps the Intercontinental title on SmackDown. So then, another piece of news here, TNA signs Brandy Rhodes, and it's just a whole press release here, that she's going to debut in the coming weeks. I didn't know she was a model. Cody Rhodes' wife, Brandy Rhodes. I did not know she was a model. Apparently she is a model. Okay. And it makes sense for Brandy Rhodes to be going to TNA. Cody's not signing with TNA. However, he's going to do some work for them. He's going to appear on some stuff. And, of course, if that goes well, that could also lead to a deal. But I think it's a good opportunity for her. And the fact that Cody's going to be doing some work there sweetens the deal probably. And it also gives her an opportunity. Also, Roman Reigns teases his involvement in the Raw main event tonight. What is the Raw main event? Okay, as noted, WWE's tonight's main event, so this is what WWE is billing as their main event for tonight on Monday Night Raw. Seth Rollins versus Rusev in a non-title match. And Roman Reigns tweets out, the guy doesn't wait for answers. Raw starts on my terms and doesn't end well for Rusev and the loudmouth Blondie with him. Hashtag, yes, sir. So, obviously, I think what this is going to lead to is, we're going to get Seth Rollins versus Kevin Owens for the WWE title, the Universal title at Clash of Champions, and this is going to set up Rusev versus Roman Reigns once again for the United States title. To be honest, I hope Roman Reigns wins the United States title at Clash of Champions, because at least the United States title then will be defended weekly. Roman Reigns will bust his butt defending that title, and that's what WWE needs. WWE honestly needs, a champion other than the two top titles, the Universal and the WWE. WWE needs a secondary champion that's consistently defending that belt and making people interested in the match. Nobody has done that with a secondary title except for John Cena and the US title in the last 2-3 years, maybe even more. So I hope Roman Reigns wins the US title, consistently defends it, and puts on great matches. Also reading the rumors of WWE having interest in purchasing TNA is also looking like it was like that. There's not too much claim to that. WWE doesn't appear to be interested, from what I read, and that I believe the Sinclair company was talking with TNA a couple months back. I'm just pulling it up here. Yeah, so and this is apparently coming from Dave Meltzer, that people very close to the situation heard nothing on the rumors of WWE or ROH bids to purchase TNA. Sinclair Company, who owns Ring of Honor, was involved in TNA talks months ago, and it is possible that they've returned to negotiations, but they want Ring of Honor's, or Ring of Honor wants TNA's TV times, and that's what I was kind of talking about yesterday. You know, Ring of Honor could benefit greatly from purchasing TNA. WWE, I don't think, would gain anything out of it, but Ring of Honor, it could enhance Ring of Honor, give them some more, ability to produce television better, get a little bit maybe fancier, and expose themselves to a larger audience than maybe they are right now. So that is my kind of news of the day. Tonight is WWE Raw, the final Raw before Clash of the Champions on Sunday. So it'll be hopefully they can do a good job of hyping up the pay-per-view. Obviously, the U.S. title match is not going to have much build. The only match I feel like has build is Sasha and Charlotte and Seth and Owens, which... that's good. I mean, I guess that's probably your top two titles right now, your Universal title and your singles women's title. But, they're going to have, I think, Backlash had 4 or 5 matches, so they're going to have to do something tonight to make us care about an additional 3 matches on that card. My suggestion is a number 1 contenders match. Maybe do something with Sami Zayn and somebody else. Sami deserves it. Sami always gives it in the ring. Maybe it's because, they want him chasing, but sooner or later you gotta have payoff, otherwise you miss out on an opportunity. So anyways, again, I'm Bomber8597. You can also call me Dan O'Mac. Subscribe, leave a comment, and we'll catch you next time.